Hey, what's going on? It is Steph here from stephjking.com, coming to you from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. And today I'm going to talk about how to set money goals. But not only that, I'm actually going to give you the two biggest mistakes that I see people making when they are setting financial goals. But make sure you do stick around because I'm also going to show you exactly what to do so you don't make these same mistakes. Welcome back. Today we are talking money, but more importantly, how to put goals in place for money, so your wealth goals. And I'm going to be sharing with you two mistakes that I see people making and how to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes. The first mistake I see people making is they pull a figure out of thin air. So for example, mine used to be $10,000 a month, and I really didn't have any sort of supporting calculation or even thought or effort into why I chose $10,000. I think it's just because I liked it. It was like a rounded number, and I knew that $10,000 was going to give my partner and I a comfortable lifestyle, and I knew that that would give us the ability to live the life that we live now with a bit of, extra on the top so we could do some more fun stuff. But I didn't actually ever sit down and calculate exactly what that meant for us or our lifestyle, and nor did I actually look at how I could create stepping stones and financial goals leading up to that $10,000 a month. And the second mistake I see people make is they don't think big enough. This day and age, when you think of $1 million, to be honest, it really doesn't get you as much as what you probably thought 10 years ago. So not that long ago, you would say like a millionaire and you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But now you've got like billionaires and people making a ridiculous amount of money that kind of makes $1 million doesn't seem that big anymore. But I feel like we haven't stepped forward as a group either. We tend to, limit ourselves in the way that we want our life to be, and we kind of put ourselves in this little bubble and we don't think bigger or look at opportunities that could potentially take our lifestyle so much further than what we would even think of even dreaming about. But there's so many ways that you could be making money, especially different avenues. You could have different income streams coming in, and you've just got a lot more ability this day and age to be able to skyrocket your wealth goals. Now that I've given you the two mistakes that I sort of see a lot of people make, I'm now going to dive straight in and we are going to get into the nitty-gritty of how you can overcome these mistakes so you don't make them or you don't make them again. Now we get to do the fun part, and we're going to go with the end in mind, and that's your ultimate dream life. And some people may be scared to do this because some people think, well, I'll never get there, and they just get into like a little bit of a negative mindset. But we are opening up our creativity, we're opening up our mind, we're really going to believe that this is the life we're going to have, and we're going to list out our perfect life. So grab a pen and paper, or I've got my laptop here, and we're going to list out exactly every little detail of our dream life, and let's get down to business. So I'm going to ask you a few questions to help you get started, and I want you to really think about this and write down exactly what you want. The first one is, where do you want to live? Is it a house? Is it an apartment? Do you live on the beach? Is it in the country? How big is the house? How many bedrooms does it have? Then what do you drive? What kind of car do you have? Do you get massages every week? Do you hire a personal trainer to come see you at your house every day? Do you want to put your kids into a private school or even homeschool them? What about traveling? Do you travel a lot? How do you travel? Do you have a private jet? Do you travel business class, first class? What about food? Maybe you have a chef that comes every day and cooks you food. How often do you buy clothes? Or what about your hair? Do you get your hair done every week? What are those finer details of your life? What does that look like? If you were to wake up today and you had the life that you've always dreamed of, where would you go? Who would you be with? What would you do? Get really clear on what this picture is for you. Okay, now comes the maybe scary part for some people. Now that we have that dream lifestyle, we've got everything written out that we would have in our life, we need to now price it up. So get comfortable, get onto your laptop or get onto a computer or even just your phone, and let's get into some research mode. So you would have written down the type of house that you wanted, where you wanted it to be, what it may even look like, how many bedrooms it is. So you need to now jump on your local property listing website and find a place that is very close to your vision. Figure out the exact cost of which that will require on a monthly or an annual basis. And think of all the additional costs as well. So if you are going to buy, what does that mean? You'll have interest rates, maybe taxes, write those down as well. Or you might want to travel 6 months of the year. So price that up as well. Jump on your travel websites, have a look at the destinations that you would want to go to. Look at accommodation depending on the level of the type of accommodation that you want to stay at. There's obviously a range of different types of accommodation. So have a look at where you would feel comfortable staying and price it up for your family. If you're going to be traveling with a family, then you need to be able to price that up as well. It's really important to do this so you can have a very clear picture that your ultimate dream lifestyle, what that's actually going to cost. This is a very important component of doing this. You really need to have a very clear calculation on exactly what your dream life looks like, because you want to go to your end and then work backwards from there. So go through your entire list that you've listed down before, and I want you to do your research and find out exactly to the dollar how much that is going to cost you. All right, so now that you have the total figure, I don't want you to get disheartened at all, because we're about to go in and look at the 5 different financial levels that you could potentially have goals at and set your goals for. Now, these 5 levels are something that I got out of the book Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I was obsessed with that book. I literally could not put it down, and it's a doozy. It's really, really thick, and I highly encourage you to go grab it. I will leave a link for you below so you can go get your hands on a copy. I highly suggest that everyone should read that book. It is full of information and it just blew my mind. So go get it. But in the interim, let's dive straight in and get our hands into what are these 5 financial goals that we can set ourselves up for. Okay, so the first few ones that I'm going to touch on, you want to look at your current expenses and not be thinking back to that dream lifestyle, like the ultimate life that we were just putting our attention to. So this is just purely how you want to live your life at the moment. So the first level is financial security. And this is where your investments are able to provide a return to you that are going to cover off the following 5 costs. The first one is either your rent or your mortgage. Then it's your food, your utilities, transportation, and then a basic level of insurance. So number 2 is financial vitality. And what that means is your investments will be able to cover the costs of those items that I listed out in financial security, but also half the cost of your clothing per month, your entertainment, and also a small indulgence. So going back to that list that you had for your ultimate life, maybe it could be half the cost of getting a massage once a month. Now, going back to the clothes, if you are not a huge clothes buyer, maybe you don't buy clothes every month, what you want to do is just look at your average cost over a year, divide it by 12, and then you'll have your approximate cost per month that you would spend on clothes. Financial independence is up in number 3 spot. And what that means is you're able to cover the costs that your job would be producing. So the same income. Now, you might use some of your income, let's say 50% of your income, to go towards savings and investing. So what that would mean is you wouldn't actually include this in your calculation. So let's say you earn $100,000 a year, but you only spend $50,000 of that. So that goes towards all your lifestyle bills and your spendings, and then you use 50% towards, which is your $50,000 on savings and investing. So for you to become financially independent from your work, meaning you don't need a job, you would only need to cover that 50%, which is your $50,000. So you could at that time make a choice that you don't need to work anymore and you'd be able to quit your job. Personally, I do save, I do invest, and I would not want to be able to reduce that or cancel that out at all. So my personal choice would be that you could potentially not quit your job, but reduce your hours or potentially look for more part-time work. So you have more time to focus on the things that you love doing, but you've still got that extra income there that you can use to go towards your investing and your savings as well. Number 4 is financial freedom. And what that means is you are going to be able to cover all your costs. You will be financially independent from your job, and you will also be able to cover the costs for 2 to 3 of your luxury items. So this is when you go back to that list of your dream lifestyle and you pick out 3 things that you would want to cover off. So that could be a new car, it could be a boat, might be some traveling, and those are the things that once you hit that particular financial goal where you're able to be free from a job, you're free from a 9-to-5, and you're able to start purchasing these things that are, going to start getting into the fun stage, then that is number 4. And the 5th and final one is absolute financial freedom. And this is you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. This is the ultimate. So this is your dream lifestyle. This is everything that you've always wanted. So those are the 5 levels of, I guess, financial goals that you could potentially put in place for you and your family's lives. Now, keep in mind that this is purely personal preference. You don't have to reach all of these goals, and most people won't. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't sit there and calculate it out. It's believe in yourself and have the deep down belief that you can reach whatever it is that you set your mind to. So you might want to go for number 5. You want absolute freedom, and that's awesome. Go for gold. Maybe you don't want to go that far. You don't need to. It's each to their own. But what I want to do is I do want to encourage you to look at what is out of your comfort zone. So if you think maybe number 3 might be that little bit you're starting to think, oh, I don't know if I could do that, then that is the one that you want to go for. You want to be able to push yourself out of your comfort zone and really strive towards something, because that's where the magic happens. So those are my tips for you on how to set money goals. Do your calculations, think big, and just be smart with your money. So do your research, make sure you're investing in the right thing and things that have had historical success as well. And I'm telling you, it's not always going to be an overnight success either. So have your long-term game in plan and also a short-term one as well. I will leave a link below to my number 1 recommendation on how to learn to invest and get a return on your investment. So feel free to go check that out. Take care. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in this beautiful world. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.